to the Coach John McClendon Classic, part of the first round of the 2017 CollegeInsider.com postseason tournament on Facebook Live, featuring the Norfolk State Spartans and the Flames of Liberty. What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for making us a part of your evening. Alongside former Liberty player and assistant coach Paul Naskin, I'm Matt Warner. And Naz, if you're still playing this time of year, it means one thing. You've had a pretty good season, and both of these teams have done just that, albeit their postseason history, at least in recent years, is very different. Start with Liberty University. This is their first postseason tournament of any time since 2013, when they made that magical run to the NCAA tourney.
That's right. And if you're Liberty, it's all about the process. Coach McKay talks about that. What an unbelievable job he's done in just 2 years of turning this program around. And now Liberty is set to take that next step in the process. Postseason game. Let's see if they can get a victory tonight.
For Norfolk State, this is their 6th straight postseason appearance, their 4th straight appearance in the CIT. Although they've lost, they've gone one and done the last 3 years. They're trying to break through this season.
Yeah, and I think they've got the players and team to do it. Very different than Liberty. They're a very experienced group, a lot of juniors and seniors, not only a lot of court time, but as you mentioned, a lot of postseason time. They're ready to take their next step and actually get a postseason victory tonight.
We expect a great game. We expect some great individual performances. Time for our Foster Fuels Who's Hot players to watch, beginning with the leading scorer for Norfolk State.
Yeah, for Norfolk State, watch number 3, Jonathan Wade, just an explosive scorer. He's 3rd in the MEAC in scoring at 19 points a game, but he also gives them almost 7 rebounds and a couple assists. He's a first-team all-conference player. They're going to need a big night out of him to get that victory.
And speaking of big, the big man in the middle for Liberty, he's been coming on strong of late.
Yeah, he's one of the Flames all-conference players, Mayo Baxter-Bell. He's made the all-freshman team, and again, he gets better game after game. You know, his numbers are not that impressive game to game, but he comes off 2 back-to-back evenings of 18 points a game. He'll also pitch in 4 or 5 rebounds. Again, they're going to need some inside presence from Mayo tonight.
As you break this one down, Naz, give us the keys to the game brought to us by The View, beginning with the Spartans.
Yeah, with Spartans, you know, you got to penetrate. They're at their best when they're putting that ball on the bounce and penetrating hard. They got some athletic guys that can really score. And then defensively, you got to cover out on Liberty shooters, and you've got a great asset behind you. They led the MEAC in block shots, so funnel those guys into some shot blockers. And then if you're Liberty, you've got to rebound. Norfolk State has some great size and athleticism. Liberty's going to have to do the job on the glass. And then offensively, move that ball. Liberty's offense is so much predicated on finding and the other guy a shot. When they do that, they're going to be in great shape.
Survive and advance. That's the mantra this time of year. The madness begins when we return.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Grab a win. Carter Bank and Trust, the home of lifetime free checking. Ronkin Pratt Senior Living Communities. We want to do life with you. And by Foster Fuels. Turn up the heat.
Back at the Vine Center in Lynchburg, Virginia. Let's get you to the starting lineups for both teams, beginning with Norfolk State, 17-16 on the year, coming off a loss in the MEAC championship on Saturday to NC Central. They'll send out a lineup that they've run out there quite a bit lately. Robinson, Wade, Okoro, Long, Butler, 8th straight time the Spartans have run out that lineup. They are 10-4 on the year with that starting 5. And then for the Flames, 19-13 on the season. For the 18th time this year, their lineup looks like this. Cabell, Pacheco-Ortiz, the senior John Dawson, Ryan Kimwright, and the man we talked about a moment ago, Mayo Baxter-Bell, out there as well for the Flames. Coaches meeting with their players for one last moment as we're about set to get underway and begin, really, Naz, March Madness in earnest. This is the first postseason game. Why not? Started right here in Lynchburg. Let's get it going as you take a look at tonight's officials.
Yeah, what an honor to get March Madness kicked off here in the Vine Center, and I think we're really in for a great game. I think both these teams are hungry for a postseason victory. I think they're very evenly matched, very skilled. It should be exciting to watch.
We mentioned Norfolk State, oh so close to playing in the NCAA tournament
you're
this
exactly
year.
Right.
They took NC Central, gave them all they wanted in that ball game in the MEAC championship, as they eventually fell 67-59. For the Flames, they were bounced out of the Big South tournament in the quarterfinals by Radford, so they've had a little bit of a layoff here, as opposed to the Spartans, who played on Saturday and have a quick turnaround. We'll see how these two teams respond here in the opening minutes with very different set of circumstances coming into this ball game.
Yeah, for Liberty, we've got to see if they're rested or if they're rusted.
Yeah.
Talk more about that as the game evolves here.
There's Jonathan Wade with the ball, gives it up. Wade, as you mentioned, Naz, their leading scorer and rebounder. We should hear a lot from him tonight as he has it in the corner.
Yeah, a lot from Wade, and watch right there, the guy with the ball, Zanai Robinson.
Robinson catches, fires from deep, and knocks down a triple to start the scoring.
Yeah, right on cue. Those guys are a great 1-2 punch for this Norfolk State team in Wade and Zanai Robinson.
Georgie Pacheco, the freshman out of Puerto Rico, handling the point guard duties for Liberty.
What a great job he does. An unbelievable assist-to-turnover ratio.
Ryan Kimwright tries to answer, cannot. Fight for the rebound taken by Norfolk State, and now we get a travel as Jordan Butler turns it over. There's Robert Jones in his 4th season as head coach for Norfolk State. He's had a job to do this year. 8 new players on their roster. After a slow start, he has really gotten them to come together, buy in, and they've played well, certainly once they got into MEAC competition.
Yeah, both teams similar in that regard. Played a very difficult non-conference schedule, and it paid off for both of them once they hit their respective conferences.
Baxter Bell backing down the smaller player. Instead kicks it out. They swing it. Corner 3 from Cabell, up and good.
Yeah, and see, that's what I was talking about in the keys. John Dawson gave up a good shot to get Lavelle Cabell a great one. Ball movement pays off for the Flames right there.
3-3 ball game. The Flames average just over 9 3-pointers made per ball game. As that one knocked out of bounds. Turnover gives it to Liberty. Head coach for the Flames, Richie McCain, his 4th season overall with Liberty, 2nd stint, 71-60 record. He was the Big South Coach of the Year a year ago. Made a strong case for it again this season, but didn't get the nod as he helped lead Liberty to a program record 14 Big South Conference wins.
Yeah, just in 2 short years here, and this one's still going on, but Coach McKay has really got this program righted and moving forward.
A young squad here for Liberty as you see a redshirt freshman and Mile Baxter Bell kick it out. John Dawson going to catch and fire. That's off the mark. Dawson, the senior who transferred to Liberty from Marquette about a year and a half ago. Norfolk State has a noticeable size difference. We'll see if they can exploit it. They couldn't on that possession. They swing it now to the corner, still looking to feed the post. 10 on the shot clock. Wade calling for a screen, running out of time. 2 on the shot clock. Step back from the free throw line, rims off. Fight for the rebound, no. The follow no good, but a foul will go on Liberty as that was Dan Robinson getting the offensive board.
Yeah, and a great defense as Wade was breaking it down. Dawson did a great job, but I mentioned again, the keys, Liberty has got to rebound. They need all 5 guys. They got caught watching the shot here, Matt. Nobody put a body on big Dan Robinson.
Yeah, and he is big, 7 feet tall. Young man out of Norfolk, Virginia. That free throw rims out. Played previously at Iona before coming back home.
Yeah, this Norfolk State team has really a great balance. They've got guards and athleticism. Inside they've got height, but also strength. You know, look at Jordan Butler, what a body he's got on him. So they can come at you with a lot of different looks.
Liberty, an undersized team. But they've been used to being in this role. I mean, they've gone up against bigger teams all year long.
Yeah, and they like to use it to their advantage with having 5 guys out on that perimeter that can shoot.
Brock Gardner, freshman, just checked in. Mile Baxter Bell picked up the foul a moment ago. Foul trouble has been kind of his Achilles heel this year, so he takes the seat. John Dawson kicks. Georgie Pacheco cocks and fires and knocks it down. 2 threes early from the Flames.
Yeah, and both of them come off an assist by John Dawson. Again, his scoring's a little bit down from a year ago, but this year he has emerged as just a great leader and can really dish the ball to who's hot.
Big South would like to thank Hardy's a contributing partner to the Big South Network. That one batted out. Another offensive rebound. Catch, fire, missed everything as Zanai Robinson, he knocked down his initial 3-point attempt to start the game. Well off the mark on that one. Dawson, a little bit out of control. That pass a little out in front of Georgie Pacheco, so the Flames turn it over. Dawson leads this team with turnovers this year, averaging almost 2 per game. That's, at times, maybe gets playing a little too fast. May have been the case on that last possession. Wade open from beyond the arc. That's too strong. The rebound, and they're going to get Dan Robinson for going over the back of Brock Gardner.
Yeah, and again, Gardner, good job on the block out. You got a guy that's 7 foot on your back. You got to put a body into him and not just try to out-jump a guy like that. Good job by Brock Gardner.
The Flames get back. You're seeing a little full court pressure.
Yeah, you see a little 2-2-1 that Norfolk State likes to jump in. And
AC Reed in the ball game now for John Dawson.
Sometimes it's token pressure, but sometimes they'll run and jump you after you get over half court.
Pacheco passes ahead, snagged by Cabell. The Flames will set up their offense with 18 on the shot clock.
Yeah, that's something that other pressure does. If you don't get a steal, the offensive team doesn't have much time to kind of get into their offense.
Brock Gardner gives up to Reed. Nearly turned it over. It'll stay with Liberty. Just 4 on the shot clock.
Yeah, nice hands by Zanai Robinson. Sends the shot clock running down and gets a deflection there. Flames are kind of trapped in this dead corner. Sometimes it's hard to kind of get a pass out of there. But with 4 seconds, they should be able to get a good look.
Kimwright, deep 3, up and good.
Wow.
3 3-pointers for Liberty in the first 4 minutes of this ball game.
And he had the long arms of Alex Long coming at him, but he was able to get it over top of the outstretched fingers and rack up another 3 for Liberty.
Kimwright had just all of 3 points in their last game, so you know he's been itching to break out and get back on the board. Alex Long, cut off. Bobbles, gives it now to Wade. 6 on the shot clock. Again, Norfolk State in a late shot clock situation. Wade knifing his way through and lays it off the glass for a deuce.
Great move by Jonathan Wade to split that defense with a little behind the back dribble. Got right through him and all the way to the rim.
Much like Kimwright, Wade coming off a frustrating offensive performance himself, as Brock Gardner had it partially blocked as he went up to try to throw it down, and we head the other way. Okoro.
Yeah, great contest by Dan Robinson up at the rim versus Gardner.
Wade throws it in to Robinson, working on the smaller Gardner. Gives it up to Long, and he shuffled those feet. Another turnover going against Norfolk State. And that'll get us to a timeout. Hot shooting from Liberty, setting the tone here early. 3 3-pointers, that one from Ryan Kimwright. Makes it a 9-5 ball game in Liberty's favor. Back in Lynchburg, Virginia, where Liberty is on top of Norfolk State 9-5 early in the first half. Time to check in with the third member of our crew, Rhett McGibbon. Rhett?
Hey guys, well this is the second annual John McClendon Classic, and John McClendon, well known for being the first ever African-American coach to win a national championship post-integration. He also was the first ever coach to three-peat in the NAIA from 57 to 59. Now he won a lot of basketball games, but he also helped revolutionize the sport, bring in a fast-paced offensive style and also the fast-paced outbreak offense. Guys?
Yeah, thank you, Rhett. You know, read a story about early in that, you know, he wanted to play up-tempo. A lot of teams weren't doing that. Early as he was integrating that, the officials once took a timeout because they needed to catch their breath. They weren't used to having to run up and down the floor with the style of play back in those days. So a game changer, no doubt, and it's an honor to bear his name on this Coach John McClendon Classic here in the first round of the CIT. Corner 3 up from Kimwright, and it's good. 2 3 balls from Ryan Kimwright. He shoots it at 42% from beyond the arc, and he starts fast tonight.
Yeah, that time Liberty's kind of spaced out Norfolk State, really moved the ball around. I told you that was a key to them, finding the open player, moving that ball, making the defense react.
Robinson has it, gives it up now to Wade. 10 on the shot clock. Wade trying to drive by Pacheco. An offensive foul. They get Wade with that off arm, and he picks up one as he was trying to drive by Georgie. He catch Georgie in the mouth.
Yeah, he got that arm out there a little bit. You know, maybe for a postseason that was a little bit ticky-tack, but Jonathan Wade can really do it off the dribble, but that time doesn't work for him.
So the Flames get it back, leading 12-5. Liberty this year has not had a lot of games where they've started well, especially in this building.
Yes.
In the first 5 minutes of conference games here at the Vine Center, they've shot about 35% from the field.
You know, I think they answered my question. They look really rested.
Yeah.
They don't look rusty at all. They look really sharp.
Pacheco drives, gives it up to Reed. He'll shoot from the corner. A little too strong. Norfolk State wants to get out and go. This is the tempo they want to play. Liberty wants to slow it down. Norfolk State wants to get out and go when they can. And now we get a foul. They're going to get Mile Baxter-Bell. That's his second. And boy, if that doesn't sum up the season for the Flames redshirt freshman big man.
He plays so strong and aggressively on the offensive end, but defensively he just seems to be a little bit out of control. That time he comes to double down, but he just plows right into Dan Robinson for his second foul.
Wade, top of the key. Now we get a whistle, an illegal screen. They're going to get Robinson, and now he has 2 fouls. So the big men on both sides, each with a pair of fouls here in the first 6.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, now if you're Norfolk State, you could run another big guy in here. And here comes Brian Gelino, a kid who sat a lot of games this year due to injury, but he's really been getting his legs back, playing more and more minutes lately.
You go small. You sub out the 7-footer for the 6'11 dudes.
That's right. Again, a team with a lot of different facets and components, this Norfolk State team. You can see why they had such a successful year in the MEAC.
And they are one of the top shot blocking teams in the country, 11th in the nation in blocked shots. Liberty hasn't given them the opportunity because they've knocked down all 3-pointers to start this game.
Yeah, you don't want to go inside.
They're not. That 3-pointer off the mark from AC Reed as now he's missed a couple. Quick, Robinson. Boy, he rose up on that jump shot. His momentum was still taking him flying towards the basket.
Yeah, he didn't get his feet set, but it kind of shows you what Norfolk State wants to do. They don't want to grind against that pack line all night. Be advantageous for them to push the ball a little more.
Rock Gardner's corner 3 rims out. In some ways, Norfolk State fortunate to be down just 7 because Liberty's missed some open opportunities from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and I really like how Norfolk State pushes that ball so quickly coming back at you the other way.
The double team comes on long. He gets it back out. They swing it around. Wade has it. Working on Reed. Gives it up to Robinson. Kicks out 3 up. Way long. That out of the hands of Williams, and AC Reed pulls down the board. And once again, the Flames want to slow it down. That's exactly right. Robert Jones told me earlier today, tempo will be so key. They don't want to get clogged up in a slow game in the low 60s. They'd like to get out and go when they have the opportunity. Liberty more than content to work the shot clock and make you work, certainly, on your offensive end.
Yeah, it plays right into the personnel of Norfolk State. They got guys that can really get out and run. Zanai Robinson does a great job of getting that ball and pushing it. He's got an unbelievable assist-to-turnover ratio, almost 3-to-1. So when that ball's in his hands, he's going to do something really good with it.
Liberty goes to the foul stripe for the first time here tonight. Brian Kimwright's first up and good. And this has been kind of an area of concern for Liberty. In their last 5 games, they have really struggled to get to the free throw line. Just over 11 attempts per game over their last 5. That would rank dead last in the nation if you were to do that over a full season. They've been closer to around 18 attempts per game for much of the year.
Yeah, in mid-season, they were really relying on getting themselves those points from the free throw line. But you're right, it has sputtered these last games as they kind of closed out the regular season.
Ryan Hippler checking in for Liberty. Josiah Talbert also getting his first action as Liberty utilizing the depth they have on their bench. 3-ball up and good from Kyle Williams. So his first bucket, and Robert Jones takes a quick timeout. So that 3-ball cuts the Liberty lead to just 6. We're about midway through the first half. Welcome back to the Coach John McClendon Classic, part of the first round of the 2017 CollegeInsider.com postseason tournament on Facebook Live. And as I'm told, this is the first ever postseason college basketball game ever to be broadcast on Facebook Live.
We are just making history tonight.
We're pioneers, Naz.
We're opening up March Madness, and first
That's
Facebook Live telecast game.
You'll remember where you were. You were right here next to me.
Next to you. I'm always next to you.
Yeah, let's check in once again with Rhett McGibbon. Rhett, what do you got?
Hey, guys. I'm so glad to be making history with both of you tonight. Hey, the coaching staff there in that last huddle for the Flames, very happy with the Flames limiting the Norfolk State team to the outside on the perimeter, not allowing them in the paint. Along with that, they know they've hit a couple of threes on the Flames so far tonight, but they say don't worry about it. Just get a quicker jump out on the shooters. Guys?
Yeah, thank you, Rhett. And while you were talking there, Ryan Hippler picked up a foul away from the basketball. He gives it back to Norfolk State, trailing by 6. Robinson handling the ball. He played 40 minutes in that MEAC championship game. Again, that was just 2 days ago. We wondered You know, how would these teams hold up given their different circumstances coming into this one? There's Jeleno pulling down the board. It's knocked out of bounds. We'll stay with Norfolk State. So far, at least in the early going, the Spartans don't seem to be any worse for the wear.
Yeah, and especially Zanai Robinson, you know, he's a second-team all-conference player. Just a guy you can just, I mean, as a head coach, you need a guy that you can count on. And the ball is in his hands so much. Again, he's a guy you can just trust with it. He's going to do something, either himself or get a teammate a basket with his court vision and command of that basketball.
Feeding the post to Jeleno. Here comes the double team. Kicks out of it. Wade has it. Top of the key. Gives it up. Now the drive. Floating through the lane. The shot off the mark from long. And Brock Gardner snatches the rebound.
Yeah, but I think that's how Norfolk State wants to play. Move that ball around, and then when you see an advantage, go hard off the dribble and get something in the paint.
Liberty plays the pack line defense. Richie McKay brought that with him after 6 seasons as the top assistant for Tony Bennett at the University of Virginia. And it can be a frustrating defense to play against. 5 on the shot clock, cross-court pass. Lavelle Cabell gonna have to launch to beat the buzzer. He does, but the shot misses. Here comes Wade with a full head of steam. Had 1 on 4, thought better of trying that. They'll back it out and reset.
Yeah, going back to the pack line, as you see here, they'll double the post.
And now another foul called. See who they get here. They're gonna get Brock Gardner reaching in.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, that's part of what they do in this pack line. They're going to double the post hard, but you got to give yourself a chance. They're kind of just running in there and fouling before they can try to even cause the turnover.
3 team fouls on the Flames, 4 on Norfolk State. And now we get an offensive foul. Boy, a lot of whistles here in the first 10 minutes of this one as they get Brian Jeleno for clearing out some space underneath the hoop.
Yeah, Jeleno made a cut to the block and just kind of got his little too much arm in there as he tried to move Ryan Kemroyd out of the way.
Jeleno,
right now,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, right now turnovers really hurting Norfolk State.
Yeah, 6 on the ball game. They're going to extend that defense. Now Pacheco kicks it out to Dawson.
It's kind of a 1-3-1 zone.
Flames pass around. We're going to get a jump ball. It'll stay with the Flames as AC Reed was trying to kind of probe there, and Spartan got a hand on it.
Yeah, I think it was Okoro dove in there and got a hand on the ball to cause the tie-up.
So the Flames keep possession, still 13 on the shot clock. You see, though, what Liberty wants to do. Really, they're not driving to score as much as they're driving to create.
Yes, especially against this zone. You try to make 2 people in the zone collapse and play you, and that's going to open up somebody else with some ball movement.
Cabell to Reed, does not beat the shot clock, so a shot clock violation on Liberty gives it back to Norfolk State, and Liberty now hasn't made a shot in over 2 minutes. I take that back. It's over 4 minutes now since they made a shot.
Yeah, Liberty came out hot from the perimeter, and they have certainly cooled since then. Part of that might be Norfolk State changing defenses. They've showed them a little zone, and that's kind of thrown Liberty off of that hot shooting early.
Okoro gives it up to Wade. Lavelle Cabell, the Flames' best perimeter defender, matching up with Wade right now. They go inside to Jeleno, the big fella. Couldn't get it to fall. Pacheco clears the rebound.
A nice move by the big fellow. Again, I think he's still trying to kind of gather himself and find his legs coming back off of injury, but working hard, and those will start to fall for him.
Yeah, Jeleno missed 11 games earlier this season with a back injury. This Norfolk State squad had a lot of injuries early in the year. They had an 8-game losing streak during the non-conference season as AC Reed turns it over. And then they reel off a 10-game win streak once they got into MEAC play. Now, a lot of that credit goes to Robert Jones for keeping this team together. A lot of folks would start packing it in when you lose 8 in a row, but he did not allow this group to do that. And it speaks to the character of the guys he has on this team as well.
Yeah, keeping the guys working hard, staying positive, knowing that the payoff would come once they hit conference play.
Wade handles it on Cabell, drives Lavelle. Look at the hands and the swat. The feed to AC Reed, back to Lavelle, and they'll set up the offense. There may not be a better perimeter defender in the Big South Conference than Lavelle Cabell.
Yeah, we saw some big games out of him. He really stymied a couple of the better scorers in the Big South. Lavelle did.
Richie McKay calls for a timeout with the Flames' struggles offensively here the last few minutes. Wants to talk it over. You talk about this Norfolk State squad, though. One look at their roster, and you kind of do a double take. First of all, they have 8 new players that are new to the program this year. They lost their top 3 scorers from a year ago, and 11 of the 14 players on this roster began their career someplace other than Norfolk State. In fact, 6 of the guys have attended 3 or more schools. And yet, somehow, Robert Jones has got them to all buy in and all play together. That is not easy to do.
Yes, I'll just say that's a job in itself for a coach to blend personalities, to bring in guys with different skills. And here's what I like. You look at all those guys from different places and different junior colleges. I love that Zanai Robinson is the guy they got as a true freshman.
Yeah.
I just am of the belief that you got to have your point guard who's running the show, a guy that's been there from day one, and they got that in him. He's a great player. I love watching his game.
Coach Jones made a good point earlier today as well, saying they may all be well-traveled, but they're high-character guys. As Lavelle Cabell knocks down the triple, so many times you kind of have that stereotype on a transfer, oh, he must be trouble.
Yeah.
That's not always the case, and Robert Jones saying these are guys that are great in the classroom, high character. It just didn't work out for them wherever they were, and it's working out for them here now at Norfolk State.
Yeah, they got to be happy with this group, the way they're representing their university, both on and off the court.
Coro driving, bodies hitting the deck, whistle and an offensive foul. Ryan Kimwright has made a career out of doing just that. Standing in, taking the charge, and that'll get us to a timeout. Back at the Vine Center, Liberty leads Norfolk State 17-8 in this first round matchup in the CIT. Both these teams getting that unique opportunity to play in the postseason. Not everybody gets that chance. Norfolk State, as we mentioned at the outset, their 6th straight year playing the postseason, 4th straight year in this tournament. Robert Jones said, we feel like this is the year we're ready to break through and get a win in this tournament. He compared it to in the MEAC, they had lost in the semifinals 3 straight years before this year when they made the championship game. He's hoping this is the year they kind of break through in the CIT as well.
Yeah, Coach Jones done a great job in his 4th year, establishing his philosophy, getting his guys in here. They've shown progress every year. Yeah, you're right. He really believes this could be the year, and it starts right here tonight.
They trail by 9 right now to the Flames, who every shot they've made from the field has been from beyond the arc. That's what they can do to you.
Yeah, Norfolk State continues to stay with this zone, kind of a 1-3-1 zone, so Liberty's got to find the gaps to find the shots.
Pacheco, that one deflected. Brock Gardner takes it, kicks it. Kimwright, top of the key, 3 up and good. 9 points, make that 11 for Ryan Kimwright as he leads the way for Liberty.
Yeah, and I mentioned finding their teammate. Brock Gardner had the ball on the dribble, got to about 4 feet. He could have attacked the rim, but great pass out to Kimwright, who was spotted up for a shot.
20-8, the Flames on top. The lob inside, off of Brock Gardner. It'll stay with Norfolk State. Here's a look. Again, you're right. The ball movement against the zone, so critical.
It's the little decisions like that. I mean, Gardner plays aggressively, and, I think a few weeks ago he might have tried to attack the rim over a couple guys, but makes the extra pass, and it pays off for Liberty.
Flames don't have a lot of guys that can just take you off the bounce and create for themselves.
Like this guy.
Like that guy. It's Cabell, good defense. The offensive board, though, inside. Up, under, and good. That was Jordan Butler for 2.
Yeah, I knew it was only a matter of time until Jordan Butler made his appearance. Such a big, strong player.
Liberty with 6 assists already. Their last 2 ball games saw them turn in their 2 lowest assist games of the season. They had just 6 in the entire game their last time out against Radford. They've already matched that, and that's something that Richie McKay has preached since day one. I won't like that as the turnover picked off by Okoro. Little Euro step off the window. No, the follow up and good from Kyle Williams.
Well, Coach Jones mentioned trying to get some stuff in transition. It starts with a nice steal there and run it out. That's a lot easier than playing against Liberty's pack line on the half court.
Yeah, Richie McKay just shakes his head as Flames have allowed Norfolk to put a little spurt together thanks to offensive rebound and then a turnover. Dawson in the corner, kicks it out to Kimwright. Cabell loses the handle. Back-to-back turnovers now for Liberty. Williams driving, gives it to Butler. He'll reset now. Okoro. He's wanting to take John Dawson off the bounce. Instead, he throws it out of bounds. It'll go back to Liberty.
Yeah, John Dawson,
advised.
Yeah, just a skip pass. That's make the smart pass. You don't have to make the great pass. Especially in postseason time, you got to play. There's a time to attack, but also a time to just make the safe, secure pass to get yourself, keep your team in a good position to get good shots.
So Flames up 8. AC Reed gives it to Kimwright. Ryan Kimwright with 11 points here in the first half for Liberty. They swing it to the corner, back to Reed. That pass to no one in particular. Kimwright heads up play, tracking it down. And now Lavelle Cabell will launch and hit. A little out of control. Yeah. It's like a broken play, but it breaks right for Liberty.
Yeah, that zone really had Liberty stymied there. A lot of great movement and activity out of that Norfolk State zone, and they get a kind of a lucky bounce.
Now knocked away. Cabell, 2-on-1 if he hurries. Gives it to Dawson. Back to Lavelle, who lays it in for a deuce.
Nice touch pass by John Dawson to feed his teammate. Liberty puts a little run together of their own.
And you're seeing what Lavelle Cabell can do defensively. He can create some issues out on the perimeter. Those active hands.
Yeah, he's quick, active hands, and really long arms.
Robinson dribbles out of traffic. 10 on the shot clock. The feed inside. Now here comes the double team and a whistle as Alex Long hits the deck, and they're going to get John Dawson for the foul. Hey, we want to remind you, we're on Facebook Live right now. Stick with us on the Liberty Flames Athletics Facebook page for the Facebook Live post-game show. We'll stop immediately after this broadcast for a couple minutes, get set up, and we'll go again. We'll be joined by head coach of Liberty, Richie McKay, as well as a player or two. So join Naz and myself for the Facebook Live post-game show right here on the Liberty Flames Facebook page. Flames on top 25-12 as they have got it going from beyond the arc in this contest. Robinson gives it up. Long, gonna drive, hang. And are they gonna get Dawson again? They are. 2 quick fouls on John Dawson. Yeah. That's going to send Alex Long. Check that. That's going to send Kyle Williams to the charity stripe.
Yeah, and it may send John Dawson to the bench with 2 of those. Coach has to protect him here for the second half.
Free throw off the mark. Norfolk State 0 of 3 from the charity stripe so far in this one. Ray Chin checking in for Liberty. Dawson, as you mentioned, having a seat.
And Norfolk State does a good job of getting themselves to the free throw line. And again, a lot of it has to do with their offense. They've got some real athletic guys that penetrate hard. That can really be an asset for them today.
Williams gets the second. He now has 6 points to lead the way for the Spartans.
And gives them a chance to set that full court defense against Liberty. Here comes the run and jump.
And Ezra Talbot was coming to set a screen. Cabell's trying to pass it to him. Some miscommunication and a turnover on the Flames. 7 turnovers now for Liberty. Many of those coming here within just the last few minutes. Now they take it right back. Cabell going on Robinson. Steps through, has it swatted out, but a whistle first. A foul on Robinson will send Cabell to the line. Well, Lavelle Cabell is getting after it on both ends. The defense leading to offense, and the Flames in control. This is the Coach Sean McClendon Classic, part of the first round of the 2017 CollegeInsider.com postseason tournament. And we're coming to you on Facebook Live. Liberty on top of Norfolk State, 25-13. 4th overall meeting between these two teams, which was fewer than I imagined it would have been. Just the 4th meeting, the first time since the 98-99 season. The Spartans hold a 2-1 edge over the Flames in this series. But they have not met since many, many years ago. Were you on the staff back then?
Yeah, one of the years I was on the staff, we played Norfolk State, and Little in-state game, so that adds another little element maybe to this one.
So Lavelle Cabell goes to the line. That last foul was on Zanai Robinson. Cabell, that one rattles out. Lavelle with 11 here in the first half. Ryan Kimwright also with 11. Only one other guy has scored. Georgie Pacheco. Free throw up and good from Cabell. Robinson handles between the circles. Waiting for a screen perhaps. Gives it up to Micah Goss, who just checked in. Again, tough to get into the offense right now for Norfolk State, and they get bailed out on a foul going against Ezra Talbert.
Yeah, nice job by Alex Long recognizing the defender way up into him. You know, you just sense that. He's got some nice perimeter skills, attacks off the dribble to get the foul. 16
fouls on Liberty. So the Spartans will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Wade, haven't heard from him in a while. That changes with the 3 ball.
Yeah, it didn't take him long to get back in the game and get warmed up. But again, a guy that's done it all year for this Spartan squad. Again, 3rd leading scorer in the MEAC at 19 a game. He can really go off at any moment.
And Wade is a guy that averaged just under 6 points per game last year. Boost that to just over 19 this season. As Cabell lays it in for 2, he stays hot. But Wade, a guy, your classic example of waiting his turn in some ways, being patient.
Working on your game in the process. That's right.
Norfolk State lost their 3 leading scorers from a year ago. Now it's his time, and now he's ready.
He's made the most of it this year.
Cabell kicks it out. Again, creating off the bounce. They swing it to Georgie Pacheco. Little ball fake. Gets his man up in the air and draws the foul. Georgie, just a freshman out of Puerto Rico, but really plays beyond his years. A veteran game for the young fella. In fact, Richie McKay many times has compared him to Virginia point guard London Parentes.
Yeah, just a quiet composure and just a great command of the ball and a court vision. Again, plays beyond his years. Those teams being on different national teams with Puerto Rico has really given him a lot more court experience than your typical freshman.
You get a whistle at the other end. Talking about Georgie, he had a stretch in Big South play where he had 1 turnover over a 6-game span. That's not 1 turnover each game. That's 1 total turnover over a 6-game span, and he is getting starters minutes.
Yeah.
So that tells you how this freshman takes care of the basketball.
Yeah, and really tonight both teams have a great point guard that they can count on. Again, to just run offense. Coach, I just have ultimate trust in these guys, and they're going to do something great with either score or both these guys have tremendous assist-to-turnover ratios, guys you can really count on, whether it's Pacheco or Robinson for Norfolk State.
Wade gets them both. Hey, you love a point guard that can score,
yes,
but doesn't have to be effective, and it seems like you have that in both these guys. They can find ways to get their teammates involved and make other people better. AC Reed kicks it. Kimwright. No hesitation, that one off the mark. The rebound along, and here comes Norfolk State trailing by 10.
I really like how Norfolk State is pushing that ball. Whether it's a make or a miss, they're right back on the offensive end.
Robinson, underneath, off the window with the soft touch.
Just a guy that can sense what his team needs.
High degree of difficulty on that one.
Cuts the flames and body control.
Yeah, the lead for Liberty down to just 8. Pacheco gives it up to Cabell. Kimwright out to Georgie. Again, that ball fake creating some space. The lay-in with the left hand. Oh, that was pretty.
See, right as we were raving how both point guards can distribute the basketball.
They're listening.
They say, hey, don't forget, man, we can score 2.
Well, it's not the loudest environment right now. They may be listening, literally. They may have heard us talking about them. It's spring break here on the campus of Liberty, so most of the students at home as that 3 ball off the mark. AC Reed pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, Norfolk State trying to generate a little momentum from their defense, trapping a little bit, extending this man-to-man and trying to create a little offense with their defense.
Pacheco uses the screen, now fans it out. AC Reed, top of the key, thought about the three, gives it up to Lavelle. He's been hot, and he stays hot. He just let the arrow go. He pulled it out and shot the arrow.
He is feeling it.
You think he's feeling it right now?
He sure is. He lost his man as he cut through, cut through the lane. He came out on the other side. That extra split second to really get his feet set.
17 first half points for Lavelle, and now he comes away with the steal. He looks to run.
3-on-1
Gives it up to Georgie. Up, under, no. The follow, no. Tipped out and tracked down by Cabell, and now taken away. Robinson with the thievery and lays it in for two. Robinson and Cabell,
they're everywhere.
They're going at each other, aren't they? Shot clock is off now. Flames can play for the last shot.
That's great players and great hustle there.
What a flurry. Georgie has it with 9 on the clock, waiting for the screen. He gets it. Gives it up. Wants to give it up. Needs to give it up. Cabell launching at the buzzer. Off the mark. A little confusion there on that final possession. But that's about the only time Lavelle Cabell has seemed out of sorts in the first half. What a half for Lavelle. 17 points.
You see, he lost his man. Had an extra split second to really get himself spotted up and on balance. AC Reed finds him for the little shovel pass.
And the Flames knocked down 8 triples here in the first half as they take an 11-point lead into the locker room. Let's check in with Rhett McGibbon, who's standing by now with Richie McKay. Rhett?
Coach, Norfolk State has 10 points in the paint. Considering their size advantage down low, are you pretty happy with that number?
Yeah, I think defensively we were solid. I think they've turned up the pressure because our half-court defense is really good, and they're trying to turn us over and get easy buckets. So we just got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. But for having a 10-day layoff, I think defensively we've been okay. What have you been doing those 10 days?
I've just been, enjoying time with the family.
Yeah, that's great.
I've been missing you, though.
I miss you too. I really do.
Fair enough.
Next question?
Fair enough. They like to play a high-tempo style of game. You like to slow it down. Are you happy with the pace there in the first half?
Red, we don't like to slow it down. We take opportunistic breaks. But if you would have been doing more homework and not relaxing, you would have known that. But no, we're doing a decent job of playing the way we want to play, and they're a good team. So we'll have to complete this 40-minute effort.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Red.
Guys.
Richie McKay, always good for a line or two, and Rhett, unfortunately, usually on the wrong end of it, as the Flames take an 11-point lead to the break here in the Coach John McClendon Classic. Much more coming up at halftime here from the Vine Center. Stick with us.
Time now for the Runkin Pratt Senior Living Communities Halftime Report. Runkin Pratt Senior Living Communities. We want to do life with you.
First round of the CIT Tournament. Flames leading 33-22 at the break. And as you know, this Liberty squad, you always hear the phrase live by the 3, die by the 3. That's kind of been their way this year.
That's right.
In the first half, they were living right. 8 triples to help build this lead.
Yeah, and not only are they hitting those shots, but it's how they're getting them. We mentioned at the top, one of their keys is ball movement. So it's guys that are, finding each other, making that extra pass. It's really helped them be successful. You see some good shooting percentages there. And, points off of turnovers, that's another key area. 11 turnovers for Norfolk State. That's led to those 15 points for Liberty, another huge component of that first half.
You talked about for Liberty rebounding the basketball, not giving up second chance points, just 4 second chance points in the first half for Norfolk State. Liberty doing a pretty good job on the boards, keeping them from getting those rebounds and stickbacks.
Yeah, now they did give up 5 offensive rebounds, and again, Norfolk State, great job. That's a component of their game that they really need to kind of utilize a little bit more, really crash the glass, but at least they haven't scored on it. If you're Liberty, you got to be pleased with that.
Much more coming up here at the half from the Vine Center. Stick with us.
It's time now for the Runkin Pratt Senior Living Communities Halftime Report. Runkin Pratt Senior Living Communities. We want to do life with you.
Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia. First round of the collegeinsider.com postseason tournament. And Naz, we mentioned the 3-ball from Liberty, how just on point they were in the first half. And we'll take a look at it now, the way Liberty stormed out of the gates. Again, a slow start many times for Liberty here in this building. Not so today. And it was the 3 that kind of got that offense clicking.
Yeah, it really is such a huge component of their game. They rely heavily on it, and they've got guys that can do it. But a lot of different guys, again, not just guys finding it themselves, but their teammates passing it, making the extra pass, and really having the confidence in each other to find the right guy that's hot.
And that guy's been hot, Lavelle Cabell, right? Kimwright did some nice things in the first half, but Lavelle, 17 points. He did it offensively. He did it on the defensive end. You saw the swat and the takeaway, had a couple of steals as well. But 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, doing it all for Liberty. And he has those moments where he kind of takes over at times when he feels like the offense is lacking a bit, and he certainly did that. And then on the other side, you got Zanai Robinson, who a crafty point guard in his own right.
Just does so many different things off the dribble. There you see him scoring. They were in a little bit of a drought. Great hustle play right there to get the steal and the score at the end of the half. Just a guy that does so many good things for this Norfolk State squad.
Well, they're going to need more from him. They're certainly going to need more from Jonathan Wade in the second half. Their leading scorer scored 7. And really, 7 points, not too bad. They need some other guys, specifically the big men in the middle, to step up and put some points on the board because they really weren't able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and they've got the guys inside to do it. So, some of those big guys, maybe Butler, give Wade and Robinson a little help.
When we come back, Naz's notes. We'll take a look at some Flames ball movement. Stick with us.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Grab a win. Carter Bank and Trust, the home of lifetime free checking. Ronkin Pratt Senior Living Communities. We want to do life with you. And by Foster Fuels. Turn up the heat.
Time now for one of our favorite segments, Naz's notes. Naz, what are you taking a look at here from the first half?
Well, we mentioned ball movement, but it's got to be ball movement with purpose. So you're looking for a lot of things. You're trying to find gaps in the zone. You're moving the ball around, maybe a penetration dribble, or as you see, they'll get it to the high post. That's ball penetration there. You're moving it around, making that zone work and shift. It's going to break down eventually, and Liberty's done a great job of it, making them pay.
They certainly did in the first half as Liberty has the 33-22 lead. Marriott is now the official host hotel of the Big South Conference. For the best rates, book directly with Marriott by heading to BigSouthSports.com/Marriott, and you will support Big South student athletes in the process. That's BigSouthSports.com/Marriott. Second half coming up from Lynchburg, Virginia. Welcome back. Rhett McGibbon standing by with Norfolk State head coach Robert Jones. Rhett.
Coach, going into the second half, how important will it be to get an inside offensive presence?
It'll be important. Just overall, we got to pick up our energy. Like I told the guys before, the team that wants to be here, because both teams are disappointed in the NCAA tournament, whatever team wants to be here is the team that's going to win. We got to want to be here.
Liberty obviously shooting hot from three-point land there in the first. How do you slow them down?
Just got to contest some shots. They had some wide-open shots. Dribble penetration killed us a little bit. Got to keep a guy in front so they won't get a drive and kick action.
Coach, thanks for your time.
No problem.
Guys.
Thank you, Rhett. You're watching the Big South Network, brought to you in part by Geico. And, of course, we want to thank Angela Lento of CollegeInsider.com for helping to organize this great event here tonight. The Coach John McClendon Classic, part of the first round here of the CIT, and brought to you on Facebook Live. There's a look at those fine shirts the guys are sporting here tonight. Just a great event. I know it means a lot to both of these head coaches to be wearing that name on the shirts,
yes.
Have that name on the floor of this court.
And one of these teams is going to take home a trophy with that name on it too. So
the trophy presentation at the end. So they do a good job with this event.
Yeah, I really like what Coach Jones said. He really hit the nail on the head. Which team wants it more? Sometimes you get caught up in strategy and statistics, but it comes down to which team's really going to want it more and fight for it.
Well, Lavelle Cabell wants it. He starts the second half much like he ended the first. Picks somebody's pocket. The Flames get the basketball with a chance to extend their 11-point lead. Maya Baxter-Bell, quiet first half, in some foul trouble. Had that one rejected going up against the bigger player. He's going to try it again. Couldn't get it to go. Well, Maya was determined. He was going to get a shot up there on that first Liberty offensive possession.
Yeah, and Butler said, I'm not having any of that. That's two big guys battling right there between Baxter-Bell and Butler.
Okoro has it. Working on Cabell, driving, whistle. Shot off the mark, but Okoro will head to the line for a pair, and they get Lavelle for his first foul. Norfolk State, 3 of 6 from the free throw line in the first half.
I think if you're Norfolk State, you got to come out in this half and continue that pressure defense. That sort of got them going a little bit. They were really flat, but they kind of got out in the passing lanes, trapped a little bit. And I think that got them going, and that enabled them to also kind of, that next phase was speed up their tempo a little bit, try to get some easy points.
That's the first point of the game for Kerwin Okoro, a young man that played previously at Iowa State and then at Rutgers before hitting up here. Kid out of the Bronx, New York.
Here you see that full court pressure. This time they're full fronting.
John Dawson brings it across the timeline before giving it up. Dawson had a quiet first half. He did not score. Took just one shot, but did dish out 5 assists. Kim Wright over to Dawson. Gives to Pacheco. Georgie drives to the free throw line. Gets it right back. 8 on the shot clock. Dawson, ball fake. Hands off to Mayo Baxter-Bell. Assist number 6 on the night for John Dawson, and the big fella, Baxter-Bell, finally on the board.
Yeah, and great patience by the Flames to really work the ball till the defense broke down and take it off the dribble, John Dawson.
Robinson good from the top of the key. And a quick timeout from Norfolk State. Robinson now with 10 points. There's a look at Baxter-Bell with the soft touch off of the John Dawson feed. Not even 2 minutes into the second half, and Robert Jones wants to talk things over with his Spartans. They trail Liberty by 8.
Friends, welcome back to the Vine Center. Well, this is the first time for the Flames being back in a postseason tournament since 2010-11, but the first time back in the CIT since 08-09, and the head coach during that time, none other than the guy that's been giving me a hard time all season long, Richie McKay. It was his first tenure with the team, and he actually led that team to a mark of 23-12, which is a school record for wins in a season. The Flames would win the first round of the CIT that year, but unfortunately would fall in round 2 to JMU, but they did have a superstar on that year's team, and he's now a Dallas Maverick. That is Seth Curry. Guys?
Yeah, you're right, Red. I understand his brother plays basketball as well. Seth spent the 1 year here at Liberty before transferring to Duke and had quite the season for the Flames.
Mayo Baxter-Bell bringing the ball up.
Yeah, a little point forward action. We've seen him lead the break a couple of times this season.
Yeah, we have.
Pretty athletic, good feet for a kid his size.
For Liberty, you got to be ready for that pressure, and that's why he was bringing the ball up.
Kim Wright, top of the key, knocks it down. The feed from Baxter-Bell out of the post, and Kim Wright buries it.
Yeah, and you can see why they're so high on this Mayo Baxter-Bell kid. He's just so multifaceted. You know, he can play, bang around down in the post, but he's got great vision and really great passer for a big guy.
Robinson put his offhand on the ground like he was Usain Bolt getting in the starting block there as he started the drive. Bodies hitting the deck. The lay-in up and good as Dan Robinson works his way to the bucket. Take that back. That was Okoro.
You got to be ready for this pressure because Norfolk State's going to bring it for the rest of the way here, try to cut this margin down.
John Dawson has it. Step back, gives it to Lavelle. Cabell to Kim Wright. Georgie will pull up from the free throw line well short. Okoro gets it, and here comes the Spartans. Want to get out and run. Wade has it on the right wing. Okoro breaking out all the moves before giving it up. The jump shot, high arcer off the mark. The rebound to Dawson. And the pace slows dramatically.
Yeah, you can definitely see how both of these teams want to play. It's going to be a battle of wills to see whose style can win out.
Wow, Dawson threaded that through a couple of arms, and I don't think Lavelle Cabell ever got a clean look at it. It goes off of his hands, out of bounds, turnover on Liberty.
Yeah, just Liberty, not good spacing on that play there. John kind of having to throw it through a couple guys. Spacing such a key component to offense. It's not talked about nearly enough.
Robinson looking, feeding inside. The bucket and the foul. Dan Robinson, the 7-footer, gets on the board.
Yeah, and such a great look by Zanai Robinson. Again, kind of through the traffic. He knew he had big Robinson, so he could throw it up high to him. Great catch and finish by 44, Dan Robinson.
Little finds big there for the bucket and the foul. That foul on Mayo Baxter-Bell, number 3. Free throw up and good. So Dan Robinson with 3 points. That's about his season average as Liberty comes the other way. Dawson trying to cross him over, loses the handle, fight for the rebound, and we're going to get a whistle.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get Wade. He kind of grabbed Dawson around the back and pulled him away from that basketball.
Yeah, it was a loose ball for a while, but then it looked like Wade sort of wrapped Dawson up and kind of pulled him away from the ball right at the very end there.
Kind of see it right at the tail end of that replay. So
Norfolk State has done a really good job starting this second half. They've turned this pressure up. They're pecking away at this lead.
Pacheco knifing his way up, under, and good. Georgie finishing at the rack. No time to take a breath because Robinson comes to the forehead to steam the other way.
That's a sign of a good team. Get that ball, make or miss, and you're pushing it back down the defenders' throats.
Now a whistle inside. They're going to get Brock Gardner of Liberty as he was banging down there with Dan Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson, good job, had him pinned under, and Gardner had to kind of climb over him.
So that'll get us to a break. Back and forth here, the start of the second half. Norfolk State chipping away as they trail out by just 8. Well, are you looking for the most unique entertainment venue in Lynchburg? Look no further. Host your event in the Liberty Baseball Flame Train this season. Open in 2016, this premier space is sold out every home game. Flame Train rental includes tickets for 25 people, the ability to cater or bring your own food, and a private hospitality area to enjoy the game. Reserve the Flame Train today by calling 434-592-5015. Well, it was about this time in the ball game, maybe a minute or so later into the second half, when things fell apart for Norfolk State in the MEAC championship game on Saturday. They actually led 46-43 with 14:33 to go in the game. That's when NC Central went on a 19-0 run. The Spartans went about 11 minutes without a bucket. You know that's in the back of your mind when you have a stretch like that, and it's something you want to kind of forget about by doing something positive and getting it going a little bit on the offensive end. Wade's going to try with the corner three, and it's good.
Well, having watched that game, I think I like what Norfolk State's doing in this one. They're being a lot more aggressive defensively. And Wade responds right there.
He now has 10. The Flames lead down to just 5. Nearly threw that one away. Brock Gardner going to drive on the 7-footer. Kicks it out. Norfolk State bench screaming for a travel. They might not be far off. Cabell now bumped, hits the deck. A whistle going against Norfolk State, and that's going to go on Kyle Williams, his second. You go driving in there, and you realize there's a 7-footer sitting there, you'll change your mind in a hurry, won't you, Naz?
Yeah, and that's a great component to this Norfolk State defense. You can get out and really pressure guys on the perimeter because you've got shot blockers back in there to cover you.
John Dawson gives it up. Corner three from Brock Gardner off the mark. Open look doesn't fall, and here comes Norfolk State with a chance to cut further into this lead. Wade just knocked down a three a moment ago. Gives it up to Robinson. In the lane, no. Fight for the rebound. Gathered. The shot up, good, and the foul. Alex Long with the bucket. And here comes the Spartans. Dan Robinson didn't get the rebound, but he kept it alive long enough for his teammate to get his hands on it.
Yeah, kept it alive and did a real nice job of not coming over the back of Ryan Kemwright. Gives him another possession and a chance for a three-point play.
Free throw good from Long. And we've got ourselves a 2-point ball game. An 11-point lead at the half for Liberty has all but disappeared. John Dawson has it free throw line, hands to Lavelle Cabell. He pulls up, knocks it down. Lavelle.
Yep.
That was 19.
Yeah, sensing the team needed a spark. And he provides it.
Cabell 2 away from his career high. Williams thought about the three. Said swings it back out to Robinson. Working on Cabell. Kicks, Wade, same spot he hit one earlier, and he knocks it down again. Jonathan Wade, the redshirt senior.
Yeah, and if you're guarding Wade, Robinson did a nice job of kind of going to his side and drawing the defender to him just enough to get Wade the ball.
And now Wade nearly picks it off, runs into the official, steps out of bounds, and turns it over. And the official on the far side looks at the Norfolk State bench and says, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
my bad.
Just accidentally gets in the way.
Tough break for the Spartans as Wade had a chance for a fast break layup if that guy in a striped shirt didn't get in his way.
Yeah, Jonathan Wade made a great read on the ball. Poke away was all but headed for two on the transition, but sometimes those referees get in the way.
Lavelle Cabell to Reed, open from beyond the arc. That's too short. AC hasn't been able to find the range.
Look at Wade pushing.
Norfolk State, they kind of smell blood in the water right now.
They have been the aggressor. They've taken Coach Jones's instructions to want it more, and it really shows this second half.
Robinson gives it up, 3-ball up and in. Kyle Williams puts the Spartans on top.
Well, it was slow developing, but we told you this Norfolk State team is a well-balanced attack. A lot of different guys can contribute.
They are 7 of 9 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3 in the second half as Lavelle Cabell has the answer. 21 for Lavelle.
Great crossover by Lavelle. And a great finish in traffic.
He is absolutely feeling it tonight as he ties a career high.
Yeah. His Flame teammates need to help him out a little bit.
Robinson trying to feed the post, couldn't. They swing it to Wade. Puts it on the deck, gets a little bump. Now Long knifing through the lane, and they're going to get a walk. Say Long just shuffled those feet. So a turnover on the Spartans as we take a look at Lavelle.
Yeah, a little through the legs crossover, kind of what an unbelievable change of direction there. Caught the defense napping, and great finish.
Between Cabell and Kimwright, those two combined have scored 34 points. Check that, 35 points between the two of them. As I say that, Kimwright with the strong take draws the foul. He'll head to the free throw line. So those two guys are getting the job done, but as you mentioned, Naz, they haven't gotten a lot of help, at least not putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, and almost the post presence. Again, this Norfolk State team is doing a great job of defending the perimeter. Liberty doesn't have an inside presence to really keep them honest, with Baxter Bell sitting over there on the bench.
That foul on Stavian Allen as Ryan Kimwright hits the free throw. And he gets the roll on the second. So Robinson, we get an offensive foul. You could see that as Dan Robinson setting that high screen, just took the leg out of.
That's what you call a hip check. Rick would appreciate that. That was a hockey move right there. But all year, that's been a point of emphasis, is cleaning up the screens, making sure the screeners are stationary.
15 turnovers now for Norfolk State. And yet they trail by just 2. Cabell going in among the trees. Gets it out of Pacheco. They swing it to AC Reed. He'll drive and kick. Extra pass to Georgie. Launching the 3. Halfway down and out. Got the look he wanted. Couldn't get it to fall. And here comes Wade the other way. Gives it back to Robinson. This is about as much as you'll ever see them slow it down as they set up the offense. Robinson now driving and a whistle on the drive. They're going to get Lavelle, and that's 3 fouls on Cabell all here in the second half. And that'll get us to a break. We've got a good one. First round of the CIT, first game of the college basketball postseason. It's a 2-point game. First round of the collegeinsider.com postseason tournament. Flames on top of Norfolk State 46-44. Let's check in with our old buddy Rhett McGibbon. Rhett?
Yeah, guys, number 13 there for the Spartans, Stavian Allen, actually was once committed to Liberty before going the JUCO route, and he was heralded as a athletic high flyer. If you check him out on YouTube, he can throw it down pretty well, I have to admit. And in his first season of Division I basketball here with Norfolk State, he's averaging 2.3 points per game and 2.3 rebounds per game, so a solid first season for him.
Thank you, Ray. Yeah, he was part of an 8-player class that committed to Dale Layer and Liberty back in 2014. Now, of those 8 players, only A.C. Reed and Ezra Talbert, who are both on the floor right now for Liberty, remain. There were guys, you remember Braxton Bonds. Flames fans will remember these names. David Ando, James Johnson, Peter Moeller, Evan Maxwell, a part of that class as well. A lot of names familiar to Liberty fans as that one goes out of bounds. They'll stay with Norfolk State. But I remember actually sitting with Rhett in our office watching highlights of Stavian Allen and his throwdowns in high school.
Yeah.
That kid can absolutely get up.
And again, he joins the Norfolk State team that has a lot of upperclassmen, so I think his time is coming.
Yeah, he would be wise to follow the Jonathan Wade model as Wade draws the foul. A guy that contributed, did what he was asked to do last year, and then now in his senior campaign has absolutely exploded and taken a leading role.
Yeah, his time to shine, and he's making the most of it, along with this guy with the basketball right now, Zanai Robinson.
Wade has it at the top of the key. Reed on him. Gives it up to Okoro. Or no, that was Allen. Check that. Out of bounds. It'll go back to Liberty. So Stavian Allen can't get the bucket to go, and the Flames will get it back.
Well, Norfolk State has really turned up the defensive intensity and also extended it out farther on the perimeter. Has really clawed themselves back into this game from the defensive side of it.
Liberty shooting 45% from the field here in the second half. It's been defensively where they've kind of had a letdown. 7 on the shot clock. They need to get something going. George Pacheco bailed out with a foul with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. That's going to go against Kyle Williams, and that'll be his third.
Yeah, George Pacheco's hit the deck a number of times tonight, taking it hard off penetration. That time I think he just sort of takes a knee and goes to the ground, but hey, this time of year everybody's dinged up and sore.
That's right. Okoro checking back in, and they forgot about A.C. Reed. Can't do that. Left all alone in the corner, and he knocks down his first shot of the ball game.
He's over there camouflaged in front of the Liberty bench there, and he makes him pay for losing sight of him.
That's like that old football play where the receiver acts like he's running off the field, and next thing you know, he's standing there by himself. Basically what they just did on that inbounds play, and A.C. Reed converts the triple. Oh, that's a tough look. Battle for the rebound, and they're going to get Ryan Kimwright banging down low with Allen. That's the first on Kimwright. By the way, Kimwright, Flames fans might notice, has lost the man bun. He's going with a more clean cut look there. He said it's intern season.
Yes.
He's got some job interviews. He figured the man bun probably needed to go.
He's going back to his freshman year look, I think.
I think a number of people, including I know Ryan's mother, appreciate the new hairstyle.
Maybe she cut it off. We better check on that.
Maybe so. I know she wanted to. Free throw off the mark is Liberty has 17 fouls already, so Norfolk State will be shooting free throws the last 10 minutes of this ball game. Dawson nearly lost the handle, fortunate to get it back. Cabell kicks to the corner. The drive from Kimwright, the strong finish for 2.
Well, nice job. He hesitated just enough as Dan Robinson with those long arms flew by and finished at the rim. Nice job by Ryan Kimwright.
Kimwright with 18 as we get a whistle at this end. That's going to go against Ezra Talbert.
You'll see it here. He knows what's coming, but finds a way to squeak it in there between Dan Robinson's arms.
Kimwright is just past, or earlier in this game, I should say, past Evan Gordon, brother of NBA star Eric Gordon on Liberty's all-time scoring list. So Kimwright 29th now as he continues his move up that list for the Flames.
Both teams bringing in fresh bigs.
Yeah, Baxter Bell has played just 6 minutes because of foul trouble. 3 fouls on Mayo. He subs back in. Both free throws up and good from Robinson.
And Gelino and Long in for Norfolk State. So
Flames up by 5. Cabell gives it to Kimwright. Left all alone. Couldn't knock it down. Now Wade. Well, Flames thought they had a steal. Instead, a whistle going against Liberty, and it's going to go on AC Reed. His second foul, and that'll send Jonathan Wade to the free throw line.
And that was one of my keys to the game. Norfolk State using penetration. They do it so well. They've got guys with great handles and great quickness. And they've caused Liberty to foul, and now they've got the bonus all the way to the remainder of this game.
Yeah, double bonus the rest of the way. You're exactly right, and that's something the Spartans have to be able to take advantage of. Wade gets them both. They're now 11 of 15 from the free throw line in this game. Little token pressure. They back out of it now. John Dawson handling. Gives it to Kimwright. Dawson. Back to Reiner, looking inside, finally get to Mayo, working on the bigger Gelino. Spins around him, takes it up strong, and draws the foul. Well, Gelino has about 5 inches on Mayo, but the redshirt freshman, perhaps a quickness advantage as he makes the decisive move.
Yeah, nice spin move there, and again, it's been a long time since the Flames were able to kind of go to the post and get a touch in there, so it's nice to see them go right into Mayo.
Gets a free throw to fall. The big fella is a 70% free throw shooter on the season. That's 16 fouls on Norfolk State, so Liberty shooting free throws the rest of the way as well, as Max Trebell gets just 1 of 2. 4-point ball game with under 9 to go. How good is this to start the CIT with a ball game like we've seen so far tonight? The feed inside, taken away. Gelino couldn't quite handle it.
Yeah, nice look, but the big guy was still turning, coming out of his roll after the screen and couldn't quite corral it.
Dawson to Cabell. Gave up the 3, dribbles in. Mid-range jumper is good. Cabell with 23, that's a new career high.
Yeah, great composure. You know, he has the hot hand, but he turns down the 3. Nice pump fake, step through, nails the 17-footer.
Cabell and Kimwright absolutely carrying this offense tonight.
Yeah, much like Robinson and Wade
for
this Norfolk State team. 2 very capable scorers.
Yeah, the pressure shifts back to those 2. They looked away, get it to him, force the launch to beat the shot clock off the mark. Those are the kind of defensive possessions that get Coach Richie McKay excited. Getting late in the shot clock, you force kind of an awkward off-balance rush shot. Backdoor cut from Kimwright, draws the foul and finishes through the contact.
Wow, great pass by AC Reed to thread the needle there, but I think Kimwright kind of lost it on his way up. He had to gather himself, get the ball. Great finish and the foul.
Reed has a knack for throwing this pass. He's done it probably 8 times this year. Kimwright strong enough to finish, and the Flames push their lead to 8. Flames fans, with baseball season upon us, now it's time to climb aboard the Flame train. The home schedule includes 27 home games, highlighted by James Madison and a competitive Big South Conference slate quickly approaching. Baseball season tickets start at just $50 and get you into all the home games at the Liberty Baseball Stadium. For more information regarding season tickets, call the Flames ticket office at 434-582-SEAT or visit libertyflames.com. Well, after starting so hot from the field, Norfolk State has cooled off quite a bit. They haven't made a field goal in the last 5:41. So the Flames defense starting to lock in just a little bit more here the last few minutes.
Yeah, that's been the story of this game. You know, first half Liberty was really hot, and then they sort of hit a cold spell, and vice versa now for Norfolk State. But we got a game here. Both teams have kind of fought, did what they had to do to get to this point. It's still anybody's game with 7 minutes left to go.
So Kim Wright has one free throw coming, already 20 points for the redshirt junior out of Conroe, Texas. This is his 6th 20-point game of the season. Gets the free throw to fall.
Yeah, both teams really shooting free throws well here in the second half. So not only that foul get him to the stripe, but it got Liberty to the bonus.
Wade kicks it back out. As we get later in this ball game, you expect Robinson and Wade to take a lot of shots. Robinson forced that one up, knocked out of bounds, and it'll go back to Liberty. Well, I feel like in a postseason game with Norfolk State, we have to bring up 2012, don't we?
We sure do. Much to your chagrin.
Well, they were a 15 seed facing Mizzou in the NCAA tournament. I am from Missouri. I was on Mizzou's campus that day. I actually went to one of the more famous sports bars in Columbia to watch that one as we get an offensive foul going against Myo Baxter-Bell. And that day, Norfolk State stunned the college basketball world. You know, 128 times, 15 seeds have played at 2. Only 8 times have they won. Norfolk State did it that day, and to this day, the name Kyle O'Quinn is basically a curse word in Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah, but you got to love when the little guy takes down the big guy.
That's right. And the crazy thing about that, they won, and I believe later that day, Duke was a 2 seed, and Lehigh got them. So 2 15s won on the same day as another foul going against Norfolk State gives the ball right back to the Flames.
And again, Coach Jones on that staff as an assistant, you know, don't think those things. As a coach, those experiences, he can now share that with this club as they enter postseason.
They had thoughts of making it back to the big dance this season and came up just 1 win short. John Dawson snatches the pass, open corner 3, on the mark from Ryan Kimwright. 24.
Big time shot. Norfolk State was running and trapping, and
a 3 at the other end. Oh man, that was almost through. Somehow rattles out of the hand of Wade.
Yeah, great look by Jonathan Wade. I thought he was going to answer, but Liberty's got, if you're Liberty, you got to really protect the ball. You're in the bonus. You get a great shot or you make Norfolk State foul you.
They go into Baxter-Bell, kicks it out to Kimwright, and he's fouled. So he'll head to the free throw line. Kimwright already with a new career high as he now has 24 in the ball game. Hey, we want to remind you, immediately following this broadcast on Facebook Live, there'll be more coming your way on Facebook Live. On the Liberty Flames Facebook page, Naz, myself, maybe even Rhett. Rhett, will you be joining us at all in the...
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Hey, guys, in that last huddle, really interesting thing just happened. Kimwright took a pill, and I was like, what is he taking? So I looked there to the head trainer, and he was just like, it's just to help him with his electrolytes. Then they had a swig of this liquid. I was like, what on earth is that? And without even asking me, it is like really high concentrated salt water. Just to keep the electrolytes going. It tastes horrible, they say. They say you could use pickle juice, but no, he likes the high concentrated salt water to keep him going.
That's interesting. No camera, I thought it'd be like Smarties or something. He'd be eating like M&Ms in the huddle.
Yeah, Rhett, let's know how that stuff tastes.
Yeah.
I think he gets a chance. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Flames up 61-48, starting to create a little bit of a cushion here as we head down the home stretch. As I say that, a foul goes against AC Reed. We'll send Wade to the line. Well, both these teams wanted to kind of get that losing taste out of their mouth, you know. Liberty expected to go deep into their conference tournament. Didn't happen. Norfolk State got right to the brink of punching their ticket to the big dance. Didn't happen. Disappointing finishes on both sides. Each had an idea of coming out here to kind of get on a little bit of a roll again. Of course, they always say there's only a few teams that end their season on a win, right? Teams that win these postseason tournaments. It doesn't happen for many.
But I like to see how these other tournaments have emerged to give the opportunity for really good teams to play another game or two.
You're exactly right. And for a team like Liberty, a young team especially, this experience is invaluable. I know assistant coach Kyle Getter talked about when he was with VCU as that three's up and in from Robinson. I believe they won this tournament, the CIT.
Yes.
And the next year, VCU went to the Final Four. Brock Gardner, an opening, lays it in. He's a high flyer, didn't quite have the runway there to take off.
Yes, but he made the sure play and made sure he got the bucket as opposed to a risky dunk. But Liberty's doing a great job. That's what you got to do after pressure. You got to attack it and make the team pay.
Wade forced up a three, no good. Flames battle for the rebound. Pacheco throws the pass from the seat of his pants.
He can pass standing, running, sitting, whatever you need him to do.
Richie McKay asks for a timeout. I think he just wants to regroup for this last 4.5 as his team has started to pull away just a bit here. 4:39 to go in the game. Ryan Kimwright with 27. Here's the last look at that. Brock Gardner.
Breaking the press, getting the ball up the court. Good job, but you got to finish. Brock Gardner does a great job of making sure it counts.
So between Kimwright and Cabell, they have accounted for 50 of the Flames' 65. They're getting it done, Naz.
Yeah, but you and I know that's been sort of the story all season for this Liberty team. There have been different guys on different nights step up. They do not have a prolific scorer. Kimwright, leads with like 14 a game, and so a lot of guys, they're great with sharing the ball, great team unity. So tonight it's Cabell and Kimwright, and everybody else is just fine with that.
Liberty not a high-scoring offense typically, but when they score more than 70 points, they are 11-0 this season. They're knocking on the door of doing just that here in this ball game.
Yeah, and this Norfolk State team, listen, I think they got one more run in them here. I mean, you talk about prolific scorers. You got Robinson and Wade, both guys that can explode in a hurry. I think they got a few left in them.
Talk about this, though. Norfolk State, they're 24th in the nation in field goal percentage defense. The Flames are shooting 57% from the field right now. So they're having a good shooting night against a really good defense.
Yes. Again, we mentioned the athleticism of this Norfolk State team. They got guys with long arms that shoot gaps. They do a great job on their defensive end. Liberty handling it right now.
Pacheco corner three, too strong. Again, though, you see the ball movement that's leading to open looks. Here comes Robinson. Butler, the strong take, and he'll head to the free throw line. Haven't heard a lot from Jordan Butler. Thought he would have more of an impact on this ball game.
Yeah, it's just part of their offense. They're very guard dominated. Not to say that their bigs can't. Again, Jordan Butler, a very capable player. Alex Long as well, but they're not their first option. They're post players.
Butler with just 2 points on just one shot from the field. First free throw off the mark. Miles Baxter-Bell checking back in. Brock Gardner has a seat. One more free throw coming. That's short for the offensive board. Comes loose and Baxter-Bell picks it up. Now looking for somebody to give it to. Instead, he'll handle it for a while. You're seeing this defense extend as they try to force a turnover if possible.
Got to really protect the basketball.
Kimwright, why not? Ryan Kimwright with 30. Welcome to the postseason, huh?
I think he's making up for that last game. Like you mentioned, that Radford game left a sour taste in his mouth.
How was that guy held to 3 points?
Good job by Liberty.
John Dawson, breaking out all the moves, gives it up. Cabell, corner three, no. He was trying to answer his buddy Kimwright there.
I would have liked to see him pull it out and run a little more clock, but
so would Richie McKay. Richie kind of has half grimace, half smile on his face. When you're up 15, you can kind of half smile about it.
Yeah,
that foul goes against Lavelle.
You just can't take anything for granted when you're in the postseason.
Spoken like a true coach. 3:11 to go. Liberty on top, 68-53 in this first round of the CIT. You're watching the Coach John McClendon Classic, part of the first round of the 2017 CollegeInsider.com postseason tournament on Facebook Live. Now, this is the second annual Coach John McClendon Classic. That's Liberty's basketball sports information director, Steven Gonzalez. He was actually working at Grand Canyon in the first Coach John McClendon Classic. They won that. So he's going to be the first ever two-time champion. There's only been 2 of them.
That's right.
He's 3-11 away from having been on, with a team that's won both.
Yeah, and Stephen,
history in the making, right there.
What a great job he's done as the SID here, joining Liberty, and he's our friend now, so we can call him Gonzo. But he does a great job for this program, and what a unique. We're making all kinds of history tonight.
No one else can say that. He is alone in that regard. Free throw up and good for Zanai Robinson. He has 16. Make it 17.
Well, if you're Liberty, you got to be ready for pressure, and it's going to come fast and furious.
Baxter Bell, didn't get a lot on that pass. Fortunate it made it all the way to Lavelle Cabell. Flames do have a number of ball handlers. That's usually not an issue. They'll need them here.
Yeah, now if you're Norfolk State, don't foul now. You've played most of the possession. Just try to lock it down here and limit Liberty to 1 shot.
Baxter Bell gets it in the post, kicks it out. Dawson gonna launch off the mark. John still hasn't scored in this ball game. Here comes Robinson. Whoa, a little too quick, almost lost the handle. Now the feed inside, up, over, and good from Alex Long. Pretty move. Baxter Bell has it in traffic, lays it in, count it.
Nice little hesitation there as he stepped through.
I was just about to say, sometimes in these situations, you get hesitant, right? You're leading. They're trying to force a turnover. You're thinking so much about using clock. You don't take easy buckets that may be there, and you end up coming away with empty possessions. I like that he was aggressive when he caught it in the post.
Yeah, and again, showing his maturity as he's grown up this year. Confidence in himself. And a great job there finishing the 3-point play at the stripe.
Coming off back-to-back 18-point performances. He now has 7 on the game as that 3-pointer comes up empty. Flames get the rebound as they lead by 14 with just over 2 minutes to go, trying to ice this one away.
Yeah, you got to run clock. Be careful with the basketball, crisp passing, and then get yourself a good shot at the end of each possession.
Baxter Bell gets it with 11 on the shot clock. Little shimmy, maybe one too many as he moved those feet before he put the ball on the deck. So the turnover gives it back to Norfolk State.
Better not blink.
That's right.
Zanai Robinson he'll
get on you in a hurry. Wade, NBA range 3, up and rattles through. Jonathan Wade with 20.
Yeah, you see why he's 3rd in the MEAC conference in scoring. A little over 19 a game. He's got great range. Saying, don't count us out yet.
An 11-point ball game with 1:43 to go. Again, both of these teams with really good seasons, however this one ends. A lot to be proud of for both squads. You take a look at Robert Jones right there. He said, they lost in the conference championship game on Saturday. Yesterday, I said, well, did you guys shoot around? And he said, no. We just got together and talked about positive moments from the season.
Wow, that's
great. He said that's what I felt was most important in that moment. You take a loss like that so hard.
Yeah.
It's important to kind of reflect on, he said, the funny stuff that happened during the season, the good stuff, and try to just enjoy this moment because you know Naz as well as anybody. It goes by in a blink.
They're fleeting.
And so you better enjoy it while you have it.
How can you not love playing for a coach like that? I mean, a guy that understands, hey, rest the guys. I don't need to wear their bodies down, wear their minds down. Let's just unify as a team and enjoy each other's company. And you see why Norfolk State has really got something built under Coach Jones's leadership.
That's right. 6 straight postseason berths.
Again, this pressure has been successful at times tonight.
Flames inbound it with 1:40 to go. Here comes the double team. Cabell gets it to Pacheco. Get it back to Lavelle, who just skips across the timeline there.
Yeah, a slower guy wouldn't have made it, but again, run clock. You got to be careful. Guys reaching.
Lavelle can't finish, but he'll head to the free throw line. He'll head to the free throw line. Already 23 points on the night for Lavelle.
Well, again, if you're Norfolk State, you're trying to trade maybe a couple free throws for a three. At least get the clock stopped, because the clock's your enemy right now.
First one up and good. 24 points now for Cabell. Every point is a new career high for the sophomore out of Arlington, Texas. By the way, his first point tonight put him 50th on the all-time scoring list. So when it's all said and done for Lavelle, he's kind of sneakily climbing his way up that all-time scoring list. But he led this team in minutes last year as a true freshman and has really had a nice sophomore campaign as well, as he gets an encouraging word there from Richie McKay.
Yeah, really proud of him. Again, we kind of rave about him as a defender, but can't forget his offensive skills, which he has showcased tonight.
Robinson drives, whistle, nearly got that one to fall. That foul goes against John Dawson, number 3 on the senior. Dawson playing tonight in hopes of extending his career at least another game.
Yeah, you talk about your career and this season is fleeting, and again, John Dawson, not a lot in the points column tonight, but like this season has done so much for this team in other areas.
Dawson, a guy who played 4 minutes in the very beginning of his sophomore year at Marquette before transferring to Liberty. Thought up until a few weeks before the season that this would be his junior year.
Yes.
The NCAA said differently, said nope, this is your senior campaign, so he had to get his mind right in a hurry.
Yeah, that was harsh, but again, John's had a great year. A great leader on this team, unselfish.
You know Richie McKay would love to send him out with a postseason victory under his belt. Flames just trying to run the clock out now. Pacheco to Dawson, 10 on the shot clock, 1 on the game clock.
Great poise by Liberty. Again, a young club. They're growing up by the minute.
Dawson showing off the handles, kicks, Cabell, corner 3, comes up short. Those in attendance were about to erupt if that one had gone down. Robinson, the quick trigger, off the mark. The rebound to Kim Wright. Flames will have to put up one more shot. But this one all but over as the clock ticks under 30 to play.
What a great game. Both teams really fought, had their ebbs and flows, and had their moments on their hot streak. But it's a shame one of these teams has to go home.
Well, we wondered how these teams would react. Is Kim Wright, can he add to his career high? No, off the mark, and that'll pretty much do it. A quick turnaround for Norfolk State, a long layoff for the Flames. In the end, Liberty prevails as Wade finishes with one last basket. His fantastic career comes to a close with 22 points, but Liberty secures a postseason win and takes that next step as a program.
Yeah, if you're Richie McKay, again, we just talk about the job he has done and is doing with this Liberty program. Just a year ago, they're picked at the bottom of the conference. This year, they finished 3rd. Now with a postseason win under their belt, this thing is really going in the right direction. Great job by the coaches, the coaching staff, and the players. And hats off to Norfolk State. Again,
absolutely.
Not only the job they did here tonight, but again, the great season they've had in the MEAC, and maybe coming up a little short in their conference championship game, but a lot for those kids to be proud of too.
Not a bad way to start March Madness here tonight in the Coach John McClendon Classic. We'll take a break, come back and wrap it up. Flames take down Norfolk State by the final of 73-64.
Today's post-game report is presented by Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling.
Liberty knocks off Norfolk State 73-64 in this first round of the College Insider postseason tournament. There's the trophy presented to the Flames. Coach John McClendon Classic. And the Flames are your winner. One of 4 classics that will be taking place here in the first round of this CIT tournament. So much more to come. The Flames will advance on. We will know their opponent after the first round is complete. But certainly congrats to Liberty coming away with a postseason win. It hasn't happened often, certainly not lately for the Flames, but a big win for them, and also a 20-win season now with that victory. That hasn't happened since Richie McKay was with the squad. I believe it was back in that 08-09 season as well.
Right, 20 wins on the year and still going. 14 conference wins, another record. So, Coach McKay has a vision of where he wants to take this program, and little by little they're checking off those check marks, kind of moving towards that. And it's a great effort tonight by this group on the court, and they live to play another game.
That's right. Time for the Coach John McClendon Classic MVP, and who would it be other than Ryan Kimwright? Lavelle Cabell made a strong charge early for it, but Kimwright closed the deal. Ryan Kimwright, the junior, with a career-high 30 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 6 of 10 from deep, Naz.
Yeah, just a great effort, and it wouldn't be complete if he didn't take a charge, which is sort of his signature move, aside from all his scoring. So, does it on the defensive end. Just a kid that, again, great leader on the court, great teammate. And again, on any given night, he could be the guy to score tonight, 30, but just a guy that has this mentality of I'll do whatever it takes for the team, and nice to see him rewarded tonight.
Yeah, there he is with a plaque there for his efforts. So hardware all around for the Flames tonight as they get their first postseason win since 2013. And, you talk about this young squad and kind of moving forward. They kind of limped home in the season. They had lost back-to-back games coming into tonight, something they hadn't done since before conference play even began. They needed a night like this just for their own confidence. No matter what happens going forward, you felt like they needed a night like this, and Kimwright and Cabell certainly helped them do that.
Yeah, growing up and becoming a great team, you've got to know what it takes and be able to respond from adversity and to bounce back with some resiliency. And they had a lot of days off. Coach talked about just getting back to basics and working on skill development. They got a lot of shooting, which really showed up tonight. So again, that was a little bit of a question mark. Would they come out a little bit rusty or rested? They looked really crisp. I think they took another big step in their development and their progress as a program.
And we'll see where they go from here this season. As for Norfolk State, tough way to end the year, always tough when you play that last ball game. They finished the year 17-17, the identical record to a year ago. They're now 0-4. They've lost the last 4 years in the CIT, but I think we would both agree Robert Jones has this program headed in the right direction, and there are bright days ahead.
Yeah, they haven't got that win yet, but again, perennially they're strong in their conference. They're getting to the postseason year after year, and one of these days it's going to pay off for them, but they're going in the right direction. That's a great group of kids coached by a great guy in Robert Jones.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the Coach John McClendon Classic right here on Facebook Live. We made history tonight. First ever college basketball postseason game on Facebook Live. You saw it right here. Hope you enjoyed it as the Flames of Liberty come away with the win 73-64 for Norfolk State. They will advance in the collegeinsider.com postseason tournament. For Paul Nazigan, for Rhett McGibbon, for our producer Matt Bird, and our entire LFSN crew, I'm Matt Warner. Thank you so much for watching. Perhaps we will see you again. We shall see. The Flames advance